Hey guys, Buffing Game Bat today. We're going to have a video, and today we're going through some of my current builds for Warzone and any type of battle royale that you're playing here, whether it's Resurgence or not. Was playing a little bit of like the duos, small map duos on Yurgistan the other day with Jug with crossplay off, and had a lot of fun. So I wanted to kind of go through and show you guys some loadouts. I'm not playing too much Call of Duty really at all these days, but I jumped on and played a couple games with crossplay off. Jug and I are both on PlayStation, so actually had a really good time. So I figured I'd go through and show some builds, really when you don't need to worry about the cheating epidemic that's kind of going on with the crossplay on. I think you can really have a lot of fun and experiment with a lot of the builds, which is one of the reasons I really like the realism Warzone back in the day and some of those modes like that. Imagine crossplay off between the both consoles, I think would be a lot of fun. So we'll go ahead here. I'm going to show you guys some of these builds quickly, and I don't want this to be a very long video. You can see we're running Messy Operator. I do like this operator. Pretty good Delta-looking operator from Warzone 2, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Really like that a lot. Now, before we get into the video here, if you guys have been following the Delta Force stuff, I will be trying to upload a video tomorrow going through kind of the intro, the first gameplay of the extraction warfare, the extraction mode, which is hazard operations. So I have gameplay of that, not my own, from somebody else. So I'm going to give that person credit, try and upload it with kind of my reaction commentary over it, and hope we don't get it taken down. I'm not sure if it's okay to post it or not because there's currently a beta going on. There's people with footage out there, so I wanted to really get on that game because I think that's going to be probably the future of the channel moving forward. Also, memberships are live. Join button, things like that in the description. We also have merchandise, have some more merchandise coming soon. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and check that out. And let's go ahead and get into it. So here we have the Mark 7. Pretty much I'm running an SR25 as my secondary for most of the weapons. So I'll show you these guns here. This Mark 17 build, I think this is a really good Mark 17 build. Probably one of the better ones, and again, here in Modern Warfare 3, it's much more effective than it was in Modern Warfare 2, just because the recoil isn't as much. So for this one, we're running the Tempest GH50 brake compensator combo, so you get a gun kick, vertical and horizontal. Your cons are the aim down sight speed, which we're mitigating with the OLEV laser, and same with the aim idle sway. But you can see you're getting a 26% recoil gun kick. You're getting horizontal 10%, and vertical minus 27% with an ADS penalty of only 12, which again, we're really making up for that with the OLEV laser. Going to run the base barrel on this thing because we really need all the attachments we can get on the SCAR. OLEV laser, again, you're going to aim and stability, aim down sight going up. This is a really good attachment. It helps your accuracy, and specifically on the Battlefield Promotion blueprint here and the Mud and Guts blueprint for the SCAR, you get a top-mounted laser. The one optic you're going to see on pretty much all these is the KR V4 1x riser. So you get a 1x, or an aim down sight speed, precision sight picture, gun kick control is a con, as well as fire and aim stability. But you can see here, the gun kick, you're getting additional 10% kick. However, you're decreasing your aim down sight speed by 3%. And with the other attachments, like the muzzle brake and the grips, we're really mitigating, I think, that 10% gun kick. However, I like to have this optic that's on the riser just because it really helps you avoid the muzzle flash from the weapon itself. So it kind of helps me personally have better eyes on target. We're going to skip the stock 50-round drum of the 7.62x51 and the pineapple grip here. This, for some reason, I think gives you 9% across the board for recoil. This and the Lockwood Precision are my two grips that I'm running the most right now, just because they give you a stable or a steady 9% across the board for recoil control. I like these ones a lot. And again, I think with the SCAR, this is probably the best grip you can do for it. So here you can see this build. We've pretty much shown very similar builds before, but again, it definitely is a much better build here in Warzone 3. And you can see with the optic on the riser, like, we're avoiding that heavy muzzle flash and smoke from the weapon itself if we were to have just a regular optic not on a riser. I think this is a really underrated optic, and it really helps you keep shots on target and visual on the target. Just a really nice gun. Now, for the secondary, again, the SR25 build, I'll show this off here. This is pretty much the basic build I'm running on majority of my classes for an SR25. You can see here, it's very accurate. And it's going to be a 3-shot, so typical DMR fashion. I think it's really good. And you can rapid fire it pretty quickly. So for that SR25 build, let's go ahead and I'll show that off quick. You'll see a couple different variants of this, but again, here we're running the Chroma LRS. That's an integral suppressed barrel. We're running the OLED laser, the DXS V4. This is a 9x optic. For whatever reason, it just has a clean picture, helps me keep shots on target. This one, and I was also running, you'll see a couple other builds utilizing the Ares clear shot to take advantage of that top-mounted RMR. But again, this 9x optic, for whatever reason, it just works for me on this particular build. It helps me keep eyes on target, and it seems to be the perfect amount of magnification for the SR25. Gonna run the PSO heavy stock on this build. Again, this is gonna give us a little bit of recoil control and stability. And then we're gonna run the Bruin heavy support grip. This is a great grip overall. However, you're increasing your vertical recoil by 4%. So I think with this weapon and some of the other ones you'll see me run it on, you just got to focus on pulling down a little bit. But again, it helps with the gun kick and the horizontal recoil control. So that's our SR25 build. Here we're running the saw or the Para saw. So the Spitfire suppressor on this thing. Good suppressor, helps saves recoil control. The Bruin 18-inch Para, again, you're losing a little bit of range and recoil. However, the mobility, ADS, and just the overall ergo gains, I think, are good with this one. You want sort of a close quarters build, which is what I'm running with this, considering I'm pairing it with a DMR. Again, the same KRV4 1x riser. We're going to run the Tor, or the Para stock, the Tor 56 stock. So we're going to lose a little bit more recoil here, but we're going to have a decrease of 2% for ADS speed. And again, just the mobility overall is going to help out a lot. And then again, Lockwood precision grip, just because this compared to some of the other ones, your ADS penalty, like here with the Bruin support grip, 4% vertical increase there with a 4%, I think it was a 4% ADS on some of these, 6% versus 9% across the board with a 7%. So, you really pick which one you want, but I really, for whatever reason, am preferring the Lockwood precision grip for most of my weapons, over the Bruin heavy support. So here we go. The M249 Para saw, again with this optic, just very easy to avoid any muzzle flash or smoke generated by the muzzle. And again, very flat shooting. I like this optic. I don't really notice the gun kick, the 10% gun kick increase that it says. So for me, that optic on the riser really works, does what a riser should. Here we're going to run a MWIII. Now this MWIII build is pretty interesting. We're going to run the Bore 490 brake compensator. Again, this is going to give us a 13% increase with ADS speed. Not terrible compared to some of the other attachments. The gun, or the recoil control, 50% for gun kick. So again, we're mitigating that riser optic that we're going to be using. Horizontal recoil, 20%, and vertical, 15%. So again, just an overall, for this particular, for the 7.62 by 39s and the 51s, this is a really good option for the majority of the weapons. So I like that one. We're going to run the base barrel with this one. Now again, you have some other options. I think this integrally suppressed barrel is probably one of the better ones, but 24% increase in ADS speed for really not a lot of recoil control across the board compared to the attachments that we currently have on this. So we're going to run the 7 milliwatt laser, again, ADS, all that good stuff. KRV4 riser, again, same reasons. 45 round magazine of the 7.62 by 39 Russian cartridge, and here we're going to run the Hex 40 grip. Again, very similar to the Lockwood Precision and the Pineapple. You get a little bit more hip fire and tack stance with this one, which I think for the MWIII, for how I use it at least, is kind of what I want with this weapon, to be able to take advantage of the hip fire and the tack stance if I want to. So go ahead and take a look at this. Again, this is essentially, it is an AK-103 AKM, just basically turned into a bullpup. So we've covered that conversion on the channel. You guys can check that out, the MWIII. But again, still, like, this build here is just very, very flat shooting for the ranges you would want to be using it at. Even that long target, we're still getting shots on target, no problem. The recoil is very easy to control and flat. Very nice weapon. And I just like the way it looks. The muzzle flash, everything like that is really nice. And again, with the, you see that huge flash, but with the riser, right, you're not really seeing any of it, so it's just easier to keep your shots on target. That's why I like that optic. So that's the MWIII. Very nice build there. Here we have a Mark 16. So the Mark 16, this is kind of built for longer range damage. So we're going to run on the 5.56x45 NATOs and the 5.45x39 Russian. The Extend Havoc 90, in my mind, has always been the best option for those particular calibers. You get in recoil control of 11% for the gun kick, horizontal 23, vertical 11 with only a 10% increase in the ADS. Here we're going to run the long barrel just because the way I was planning to use this at least. You'll get a little bit more damage at range for no penalty with the recoil, which is nice. Then we're going to run this new optic that comes with the F2000. So this is the Hollow Craft optic. Again, you can run the other KR V4 riser, but this gives you no cons of the recoil, only 4% increase in ADS, and you get 2.5 magnification. So it's a good option. That or the same optic we've been running, 60-round mag at the 5.56x45 and the Lockwood Precision. So go ahead and take a look at this weapon again. Really good weapon. You can swap out the barrel for something else, like a laser if you really wanted. But again, my idea was it's already a flat shooting weapon, so you can get good damage at range with this particular barrel. The recoil is just very easy to control. And again, when you're doing crossplay off in these resurgence or smaller royale modes, you can really get away without a suppressor, I feel like. Suppressors really, even in the base modes, I don't think the suppressors are as important in this version of Warzone as they typically have been, just because of the fast pace of the game. It really doesn't matter that much. Now here's a nice one, a G3. So the G3 we're running here, the TYLR8 brake compensator, 8% for gun kick. So again, we're pretty much mitigating that same optic we've been running. The horizontal is 27% and vertical is 7 with a 10% increase in ADS. Not bad. Going to run the long heavy barrel here for, this is going to be the Romeo 16-inch, going to give you 13% across the board for recoil. ADS is increased by 36, which is a bit of a bummer. You can run this shorter barrel with the same recoil stats, but you're not getting the damage at range. So I kind of wanted to get the damage at range with this. You can see the increase 30-30-28 versus 9-9-18. So we'll take that. The same optic, 30-round magazine, just because if we do go full auto with this, 20 rounds is not enough. And the Bruin heavy support grip. Again, we're increasing vertical by 4, but again, with this weapon, I don't think it hurts you as much because you really can just pull straight down. Horizontal with these heavier 7.62x51 calibers is more important than vertical. So go ahead and check this out. G3, again, if we're running semi-auto, not bad. Longer targets, like that long target there, not... You really need to tap fire a little bit slowly, just making sure you're hitting your shots. But really, I think this is built for the closer to the... Like, these medium ranges is nice. And if you need to go full auto, you can do so. Again, 30-round mag, you may want to even run a 50 if you're going to be running full auto a lot. But pretty accurate in full auto, which is nice. And then if we were to mount, we missed 1 or 2 there. But again, if you have a good trigger finger, you can get shots off quickly. Only if you're in close quarters would you really need to go full auto or something like this, where you're encountering maybe more than one enemy. Very nice weapon, G3. So that's a nice one from Modern Warfare 2 that really hasn't seen a lot of action. Some other ones here I wanted to show off briefly. We have a really nice 103. So this 103, the Tempest GH50. Again, this is the 7.62 by 39mm Russian round. So this particular, the Tempest GH50, works really well with this one. You're gonna save on the gun kick, 25%, horizontal 10%, vertical 27% with only a 30% increase to the recoil control. Gonna run that Zeno long barrel. So that's going to give us the recoil, bullet velocity, gun kick, 11% across the board, 13% increase to ADS speed, but you really don't notice it. Going to run this new TPS reflex optic, gives you that thermal overlay a little bit in the center of the reticle. Really nice optic. You cannot tack stance, though. We're going to run the Zeno buttstock or the Makarov MWIII R7, so you get a little bit of recoil increase there, but 3% decrease to ADS speed, which is nice, and the Bruin heavy support grip. So this is a nice looking AK. Really good looking Zeno 103. And I'm running the Enforcer blueprint from, you would get it from one of the Modern Warfare 2 raid episodes. The first one I got it from. Now, you could swap out the buttstock for a 40-round magazine. But the good thing with this, it's a fairly quick reload, and it shoots pretty flat, to be honest. That longer target, a little bit difficult, just because kind of see. So you may want to swap out the optic to the same KR V4 we were running, just because, again, you can see with the thermal overlay, you're kind of visually obstructed a little bit. But I like this optic on it because it just makes it look really, really cool. It's more of an aesthetic thing. So that's the AK-103, Zeno 103, looking really nice. One more build I wanted to show off here is the 458 SOCOM, or the FTAC Recon. So we're going to run a Cronin DM338. So you can see it's going to give you 7% for gun kick and vertical, 27% for horizontal, 14% increase to ADS speed, but it's a really good break for this gun. We're going to run the base barrel, that same KR V4 riser. Going to run the SOP mod buttstock, get 2% and 3% for some recoil control. Not going to hurt you really in the ADS department. 15 round mag of the 458 SOCOM, because otherwise you have the base of 10, not enough. And we're going to run the Bruin heavy support grip on this. So this is our 458 SOCOM close quarters build. Now typically, I was running this thing at DMZ for the most part, minus the Modern Warfare 3 attachments, but again, if you have a good trigger finger, it wrecks in semi-auto. If you can use this thing effectively for close to medium ranges like this, like even not rapid firing, it's still going to just do a lot of damage. And I had a lot of success with it in DMZ, minus the optic. I was running just the Modern Warfare 2 equivalent. And if you get in trouble in close quarters, you had the full auto option. Not too bad of a reload time either. Wow, I definitely did not line that shot up right, but so it's really good. I would recommend, unless you really need to go full auto, keep it in semi. Just a lot easier to get your shots on target. And no need to rapid fire either. You can kind of tap fire and take your time if you need to, depending on the situation. But again, in close quarters like this, really quick. Miss a couple shots there, but still, you're going to do a heck of a lot of damage there. Nice weapon, the 458 SOCOM. So running that for close quarters. Let me know your thoughts on these weapons down below. Again, pretty cool Warzone builds. Again, mainly for kind of, mainly the Resurgence or the small Royales. Again, crossplay off. You can really get away without suppressors. I think you can do it in the base game too, but hackers obviously are going to just take running rampant, so it's a little bit difficult to really have fun like that. So let me know your thoughts down below. Till next time, this is Buffering Gaming with some nice Warzone tactical builds. Till next time, Buffering Gaming, out.